Hey everybody, Mr. The Fanboy here. This is my thoughts on the recent passing of professional wrestler Dusty Rhodes. When I immediately I when I immediately heard the news on Facebooks from Georgia wrestling producer Bill Barons, um I was immediately shocked and looked up anything I could find on Wikipedia on Dusty Rhodes, and it was true. Dusty Rhodes. It was announced that he had died due to kidney failure, and I was just in shock, so in shock that I really haven't been really doing much videos or really looking up anything on professional wrestling because this is sad to tell you the truth. After reading about what caused his death and what he was dealing with in his final years, it was announced on Wikipedia that he was dealing with stomach cancer, and he had kidney failure. And looking at his size, I'm not shocked at the cause of his death. I'm shocked and saddened by the fact he's died. Dusty Rhodes, just like Macho Man. I don't like him personally. I didn't like him personally, but Ultimate Warrior, Sean O'Hare, Viscera, Big Daddy V. These are wrestlers and people years from now I still expected to see somewhere, or them to be appearing at an autograph session or having a special appearance at a wrestling show, or even in Sean O'Hare and Big Daddy V's case, actually wrestling or fighting somewhere. But just hear the news of these guys dying, it's overwhelming. When Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero, when those two died, these are two deaths I took really hard, and these two deaths right here, kinda along with the stale products of WWE and hell even TNA, kinda killed my interest in wrestling for a while until several people like Hulk Hogan and Bischoff came back to professional wrestling. So yeah, killed my interest in professional killed my interest in professional wrestling, and so I'm just saddened with the news that he's dead. Some of my memories of Dusty Rhodes, of course, I was way too young to see him in his prime. I wasn't even alive when he debuted in professional wrestling. But I first got to see him in the late '90s with WCW. Briefly before leaving for ECW, I remember him being a commentator, and of course turning on WCW to join the NWO. But then him I remember later on when Dustin Rhodes Goldust returned to WCW and feuded with Jeff Jarrett. Dusty Rhodes also returned. He wrestled Jeff Jarrett, and I thought Dusty Rhodes was awesome at that time. I was a huge Jeff Jarrett fan, but I hated him. And I wanted Dusty Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, father and son, to kick Jeff Jarrett's ass, to kick his butt. But but um, so yeah, I still believe wrestling was real at that time. So it was awesome. It was awesome. And then of course in the early 2000s, I got to see him in the early days of TNA and the whole NWA versus Vince Russo Extreme Sports Entertainment Extreme feud with Dusty Rhodes versus Vince Russo. He also wrestled several matches there and was commissioner. And I learned he was part of the booking community briefly until he left what's his name. Then of course he had several appearances in It came back to WWE. Um, then of course when I discovered Wikipedia, I read about his illustrious career, went back and watched all of that Jim Crockett '80s stuff, which was awesome, and seeing all the feuds there and hearing about his booking and stuff, and how, and not only was he good on screen, then behind the scenes, striking while the iron's hot and turning Nikita Koloff, who in my opinion is criminally underrated. His career ended way too soon, turning him face, um, giving Magnum TA up until Magnum TA's tragic car accident, giving Magnum TA, who in my opinion, Magnum TA, this guy would have been the face of professional wrestling up until the Attitude Era, up until the Monday Night Wars. This guy would have been the face of professional wrestling. Maybe still um, wrestling by that point, but giving him the biggest push of his career. Then of course, giving so yeah, Dusty Rhodes meant so yeah, Dusty Rhodes, one of the all-time legends. I hated his WWE career with the polka dots. I kind of think of it, almost I hate actually almost anything with his WWE career, with the exception of him with the exception of him fathering Goldust, Dusty Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes. Now I kind of hate anything with his WWE career. I consider NWA Jim Crockett Promotions, WCW, and his brief time in TNA to be the best parts of his career. But he made the crappy polka dot gimmick work, which goes to show you how awesome he is, despite the crappy the crappy gimmick. Despite the burial, he managed to turn that gimmick into box office gold, which goes to show you how great Dusty Rhodes actually was. But yeah, Dusty Rhodes, one of the like all-time legends of professional wrestling, and it's good to see he is remembered well by lots of people. Well, this was my thoughts on my Dusty Rhodes passing. All right, dugout.